Making this video on this Jetcoat shower surround system. There's no other good advice on YouTube, so I thought I would make one myself. This is the parts of the surround, and this is the shower area that's been red guarded, and I placed the tracks into the wall so I could get a measurement in between both of them, so I could cut all the back pieces for the shower surround, which the instructions told me to do first. So I got that dimension, and I was able to cut down the pieces with an irregular circular saw with no issues, and I'll show you guys that shortly. So once again, we're out in the garage. This is the shower wall panels, the rear 3 panels that you put together. I have 2 of them basically face down on the cutting table. I used a normal circular saw, 2 clamps holding it down on top of some cardboard on top of a couple of sawhorses. If you feel unsure about the circular saw, try it on one of the pieces of the edge that you're going to end up cutting off anyways, just so you're more comfortable. That's what I did. It cut pretty nice. I took the dimension, which was about 48 inches wide, and with the 2 pieces of track that the surround is going to fit into, I needed 46 1/4. So I took the distance, split it in half, and took the dimension off of each end. And you know, they should all fit together on the back wall. And I will tune you guys in for the next step. Alright, come across the first reason why dry fitting your panels before deciding to glue them and stick them on the wall is a good idea. As I talked about before, we have this corner track, the 3 back panels, and the other corner track. I realized that the compound in the lower right corner is a little bit built up too much, so it's having a tough time fitting in there correctly. So I'm going to go back, sand that down a bit, retreat it with red coat, and then come back to dry fit one last time, and then we'll go ahead with the taping of the panels and the tub surround adhesive process. Alrighty, everybody, we're back. I have all the panels, all 5 panels, dry fit in place, taped up just to make sure everything looks correct. We did use the corner tracks, and as you can tell by the video, you have to trim those down before your final installation. But everything's sitting nice now that I sanded down that bottom right corner of the shower, got everything back square and taped up in place, and we're good to go. Alright, so now that we dry fit everything in, pulled the surround back out, and cleaned up the bottom edges of the shower pan as best I could. If you haven't started this process yet, I suggest getting good painter's tape and tape the bottom flat lip on the shower surround, and then put your plastic over that. Or if not, you'll be spending a half an hour on your knees scraping that stuff off. Other than that, I took a shop vac and I went over all the walls, and now I'm going to use a tack cloth. Usually find it in painting supplies. It's just kind of an adhesive type material you can rub onto the walls. It'll pull any dust and stuff off of there. This way, when you put your adhesive on the walls, hopefully you won't have any issues in the future. And then next up will be the shower panels. Normally I would do this on some sawhorses or something like that, but I don't have much room up here, and I'm not going to run up and downstairs 16 more times today. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put the tape on up here, and we're going to put the adhesive on and then place the panels in place. Alright, before you put the panels up, this is going to be one of the steps. This is putting on the tape. On your smaller panels, which are your back wall panels, you're going to have 2 rows of the tape, basically there and here, and then you're going to put circles of the adhesive in between the tape. You're supposed to stay 1 inch away from the outer edge on all sides, and then you're supposed to stagger your distance between your circles of adhesive by 2 inches each. At least that's what the manual says. Doesn't quite say how thick to put it on, but if you're going to have the adhesive tape actually grab the wall, I guess it can't be too thick. All right, back to business. So this is the piece of trim that I had shown you guys before. You got to cut it down to the panel size. If not, it'll stick up further because they cut them a little bit long for some strange reason. Alright, and they're also telling us that you should place the left one in the corner first. You should adhere it in place before putting the wall panels in, which we will do. Oopsie. Alright. Trying to get a look to see if you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So, we're putting adhesive onto the piece of trim. I suppose you could probably just rub your bead of caulk on the wall. Would probably make this a lot easier than trying to do it standing up. Probably doesn't take a whole lot to keep it in place, but hopefully the shower will outlast me. But we shall see. Alright, and there is the piece of corner trim put in with adhesive. Now we'll start the panels. Alright, just to show you guys what I'm using here is Loctite Power Grab tub surround material. And we're going to use this on the surround. Stay an inch away from the top, an inch away from the sides. Two inches apart, roughly. Sure, you guys probably don't want to wash all of this, but so on and so forth. I'm not going to make you guys watch this continuous stuff. I'll show you when we're installing the first panel. Alright, I'm definitely not an artist. I tried to keep it roughly around the dimensions they talked about. But there is the adhesive, the tape as well. When you go to install this, don't forget to take the backing off of the tape. Each panel is labeled. First panel, backside. You got your second panel here, third panel here. So make sure you put them in order. Cut the edges they suggest. And yeah, we'll get that done. Lose the glove. It's to get this sticky tape off here. And my guess is you don't want to wait too long in between this process because that stuff probably starts setting up pretty quick. And also, forgot one step. They do want you to put silicone inside of the track before you place the panel. Hold on for that. Alright. Then they want you to put some adhesive inside of the track. Actually got some silicone ready for showers, wet areas, and low mold and things of that sort. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. That's the side we're starting on, so we'll leave that there. Set that off to the side. And then attempt to install this first panel. Make sure that's the one that says first panel, because if not, they say to insert this, I think, at a 30-degree angle. I don't know exactly how they think you're going to figure that out while trying to put a shower panel in, but just try to work it into the channel and make it happen. I suggest putting strong pressure against it to make sure it seats all the way into the channel before you push the panel to the wall. And that you're sitting down on your tub surround. And then you can seat your panel. Alright, now that that panel's in, say to gently mallet, of course, not a regular hammer, so it doesn't hurt the surface. And then rinse, lather, repeat. Do the same thing for the next two panels. I'll see you then. Alright, on to panel number 2. Once again, don't forget to peel off the backing of the tape. Alright. And for this one, they say the same thing. Try to insert it in the other piece. 30-degree angle. Make sure your interlock hang edge actually interlocks. And when it does, swing it shut. Make sure you put a little positive pressure there. And then close your panel. Okay. Alright. And we want to take the old mallet. one is in place. Alright, looks pretty decent. On to the third. Make sure the interlock actually goes in. Here we go. He's looking pretty good. Push the back and the corner in. Seat everything. A little extra silicone. Alright, we are on to our last piece. Sorry, I forgot to turn on the camera for the last one, but it's just similar to the back panels that I showed you. And then here on the last sidewall panel, we have 3 strips of tape, as opposed to the smaller panels on the back that had only 2. I used a bunch of tub surround adhesive everywhere I thought it needed to be, and you know, don't forget to pull the backs of your tape off before you put it on the wall. And let's get this thing in there. All right. Get it close. Swing it in a little closer. Get it into the track before you set it to the wall, or you will be unhappy. Okay. All right. So this is the finished product. All the walls are adhered. I'm going to throw up some pieces of tape to make sure nothing moves. I'm sure it probably won't, but tomorrow when everything's set for about 24 hours, we'll come back and caulk all the exposed edges and caulk along the tub surround at the base, and it should be good to go. Hopefully this video was helpful. The ones that I found on YouTube really were not helpful, nor were the instructions in the manual. I got bits and pieces, but have a good day guys and good luck.